Hi, Analisa Six here with the Sober Curator and the Lady of Leisure to bring you the April 2024 horoscope for the zodiac sign of Capricorn for sun and rising placements. Hi, Capricorns. How are you? You guys are some of my favorite people. I know that you guys get a bad rap, but I think you're all smart and amazing. I wish I had more Capricorn energy. I'll come back as a Well, I think I might have been a Capricorn in my past life, actually. I was like, I'll come back as a Capricorn. I actually don't want to come back. I don't want to come back ever again, unless I'm like a cat. I want to be a house cat that just gets to bake in the sun all day. Um, all right, let's get into April. April is an intense month. It's one of the most intense months of the year. It's not going to be easy, Capricorn. It's not. But you know what? You guys can do it. You can get through it. I believe in you. You're powerhouses. You're powerhouses. We start out April, today's April 1st, happy April Fool's Day, with a Mercury retrograde starting today at 27 degrees of Aries. And part of the reason why this is challenging for you, Capricorn, is because Aries makes a square to your energy, which is a hard aspect. And hard aspects in astrology cause tension, friction, and challenges. However, I do want to say that square aspects, even though they're challenging, they tend to inspire us. They tend to push things forward in a way that when we're kind of just coasting in life, we're not very fulfilled by. And Capricorn, you're the goat. Like you want to, I mean, you're a sea goat, but you want to climb, you know, you want to climb the ladder of success usually. Usually you're very much driven towards something. And when you don't have a challenge or you don't have something to inspire you and push you forward, you look for it. I can't tell you how many Capricorns I feel like you guys look for the challenge. So I feel like this month you're going to get lots of obstacles and hurdles to overcome, and you're going to persevere. You're going to do it. The Mercury in Aries energy, all the Aries energy that we have starting out April, the area of the chart that it's hitting for you is the area that has to do with your home life. And so it's turbulent in the home. You know, if you're thinking of moving, you know, this is highlighted for you, but Mercury retrograde, it doesn't come without its challenges. This is one of those things where if you're going to sign a lease or you're going to sell a property, you really need to be mindful with all the fine print, the contracts. You need to just be reading things in a very diligent way. There's going to be mishaps, miscommunications, you know, there's going to be some conflict in the family or the home structure, having Chiron and the North Node, the Sun, and Mercury retrograde all here at the start of the month. This is also within the family structure, not just the home. So again, not a great time for renovations, but a great time to reflect and review renovations or projects like that that need to happen. Also, the family structure. So if you have kids or if you live with your parents or if you live with multiple people, there's going to be conflict and communication dynamics where things are going to have to get sorted out. There might be a lot of confrontational type things. I bought this book a couple weeks ago that I'm recommending to a lot of people that have communication as a main theme in their charts or in their horoscope. It's called Communicate Your Feelings Without Starting a Fight. And there's a lot of really good kind of it's really easy to read. Like I mean, you could probably find it on audiobook. You could read this in a day. Talks about how to communicate when you've made a mistake, which I would say for you, Capricorn, is a really good skill set to learn. I know plenty of Capricorns that are good at admitting when they make mistakes. So I'm kidding. But you know, this is a fun way to kind of work on things while maybe things are turbulent. I'm trying to get a little bit more proactive with that. I think when I see these transits, you know, I'll kind of reflect a lot on what I need to work on, but what am I doing to actively work on it? You know, am I going to therapy? Am I journaling? Am I reading a book? I'm a big reader, so usually I'm reading a book about something or articles. I read a lot of articles like on, you know, psychology stuff, but you know, podcasts, you know, Esther Perel has that podcast about relationships that is really positive too. And sometimes there's ones that I think are more like family oriented, because that's what's highlighted for you is family, you know, family and home life. We also start out April with a lot of energy in the mutable water sign of Pisces. And, you know, we've had Saturn and Neptune here already for quite some time, but Mars and Venus are here And Venus is actually only going to be here for the first few days of April. And then she moves into the Aries party on the 4th and 5th. And so Venus will be in Aries for most of April. And, Venus in Aries in the 4th house is here to kind of help bring some harmony and resolution to some of the turbulence because she wants that. But in Aries, she's not in her element. She likes to be in Libra. And so here with Venus and Aries, you might be really inspired in the home in certain ways that I'll talk about in a second. But when it comes to conflict resolution, it's kind of hard with Venus and Aries to see the other person's perspective. We can be really indignant on our own perspective. And so that's probably something that you'll be working on with the Mercury retrograde and Venus in Aries, is how to advocate for yourself, maybe within a family dynamic or a home dynamic, but also, you're going to have to work extra hard maybe at hearing that other person's side, because the energy is pulling us more towards being, kind of self-oriented. Venus in the 4th house is really fun for redoing things in the home. So especially aesthetically, like redecorating or, rearranging things. And so that could be a big theme, especially with Mercury retrograde here, where you might feel like your space needs a little bit of a refresh. And if you are moving, it is a positive time to get rid of things and find new things for the home. Your finances around your home life might come up, Venus rules money. And so you might be kind of reflecting on those things as well. Mars in Pisces passing through the 3rd house of communication for the entire month of April makes communication a little bit turbulent for you. And, Pisces in its elevated, evolved state is really intuitive, really empathic, very understanding, can hold a lot of space for other people, and isn't about just trying to assert, which is very Mars energy. Capricorn, I think, can be that way too. Capricorn, being a cardinal energy and cardinal earth energy, it does have a tendency to really want to come in and, drive a point home. And Capricorn people tend to be very smart and very knowledgeable. And I think that it's hard sometimes for Capricorn to hold that back, because you have so much to offer and you are so talented and so good at what you do in life, and I think that Capricorn dominant people, sometimes there's a lot of foot in the mouth moments that Capricorn dominant people have, where they have to learn humility, and Mercury squaring that Capricorn energy is going to bring some of that up. And with Mars in the 3rd house, you might be really learning how to express your feelings without starting a fight. How do you work on being more vulnerable and less, assertive in ways that are harmful, but how do you still confront those things? How do you still open up? How do you confront your feelings in ways that are constructive for you and other people involved? It might start out with you needing to journal or write them down before you express them to somebody else, just so that you can get the kind of initial heat, of the feeling in a more tempered place. I feel like I've had a lot of in my ether. I had a Capricorn friend say this to me, but then I've also had it just in my ether for a long time, is that feelings aren't facts. Feelings are information. Feelings are, I think, a good compass for us in terms of navigating the work we need to do on ourselves and maybe things that need to happen around us, but they're not facts. And so we have to get in that space of validating the feelings while also moving into the facts. I think Capricorn's really good at assessing facts. And so you might be kind of in that space of going back and forth between that this month in April. On April 8th, we have a solar eclipse at 19 degrees of Aries that's going to be conjunct Chiron. And so, solar eclipse is new moon energy. New moons are all about setting intentions and planting kind of the seeds for something to grow. And since this is hitting in the area of the chart that has to do with home and family, there might be some big change that needs to happen within your home structure, your family structure, and that eclipse is going to bring a bunch of stuff up around that. Later on in the month, we're going to have the sun moving into the fixed earth sign of Taurus. This is a much more comfortable energy for Capricorn because earth likes earth. And it's also moving into an area of the chart that enhances your desire to be creative. It's entering the 5th house, which is the house that rules self-expression, creativity, the inner child, our relationship to children. And so Taurus season is going to feel like a nice, like, okay, we're finally getting out of that. And I'm ready to feel kind of this good energy that's just making me feel inspired in life. Then after the sun moves into Taurus on the 23rd, we're going to have a full moon in Scorpio at 4 degrees of Scorpio. And the area that this is hitting in the chart is the area that rules friendship. So your house, the 11th house that rules friendship, community, circles of people we surround ourselves with. This could be political organizations, or, you know, like I'm in AA, the 11th house could be ruling AA for you. Full moons are a time of manifestation, but also letting go and releasing something. And so if you've been really reflecting on your relationship to your friendship circles or your community and whether or not those are serving you, this could be a time where you're ready to move on or move away from maybe a certain social dynamic that's not something you're feeling inclined towards. Or it could be that you're feeling a desire to connect more with other people, but you don't know what that looks like, and you want to call it in. You want to tell the universe, these are the types of people I want to surround myself with. This is the type of energy that I want. So that's a big theme for the full moon is, you know, how do I express myself? And do I feel like I have the community that I feel like I can express myself freely in? On the 25th of April, Mercury is going to station direct at 15 degrees of Aries. And so whatever around the home stuff was kind of wonky, hopefully over, you know, the next few weeks starts to move forward in a more constructive way. And then our last big shift of energy is Venus is going to be leaving Aries and entering the Taurus party on the 29th. And she's going to be, again, like kind of highlighting with the sun, that area that has to do with your creativity and self-expression. And it should feel good. You know, I think that the end of the month is going to feel much better for most of us. And I think May in general is going to be a much better month than April was. So we just got to kind of get through this back and forth, you know, tension and learn from it, you know, learn the lessons. I think for Capricorn, you're learning how to be more vulnerable and more open in a way that's less combative, but you have so much energy that can push you towards being combative if you're not doing that self-awareness work. So slow down, you know, things are going to be moving in all kinds of different directions, but just take a deep breath, keep pushing forward the way you always do. And remember, you usually like a challenge. So try to show up to your challenge as a way that is fun. Like, you're Capricorn, you got this, you can conquer it, you know? All right. If you liked this video, feel free to hit the like, subscribe button. I do these every month for the Sober Curator and my personal blog. If you want to book a reading with me, feel free to email me at that email address that's in the description box. And I wish you all the best of luck, and I will see you all next month.